toxic masculinity.
Bette Midler threatens to kill unvaccinated kids. That's right. Bette Midler wants to kill your children if you've gone unvaccinated. All right, what's going on here? Hold on one second. Gonna have to fix this. All right, there we go. Done. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn her off there. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, Bette Midler wants to kill your unvaccinated kids. Now, I didn't have time to read all these stories because I was dealing with my crypto stuff today while I was supposed to be going through the story. So this is all new for me, too. Let's have a look. Unhinged leftist Bette Midler threatens to kill unvaccinated kids. Okay, so this is her. Let's see here. So this is a tweet from Sunny McSunnyface. Well, let's just read the article. The entertainer Bette Midler has called for killing children who have not had COVID shots. In a completely mental tweet aimed at anti-vaxxers, the unhinged Midler advocated using peanut butter on kids with allergies if they haven't been vaccinated against coronavirus. Normally, anything coming out of her mouth is easily ignored, but this mind-to-keyboard splurge is a particularly hot take. Sunny McSunnyface says, "Get vaccinated or I'm going to start killing kids with peanut butter allergies" is definitely a sales pitch. And then they reposted Bette Midler's tweet, which says, "If my kid can't bring peanut butter to school, then yours can't bring the deadly plague. Vaccinate, or I'm bringing the jiffy." Let's see. Somebody else, Major Mom Vibes, wrote, "Choosy moms choose Jif, and there's no FDA-approved pediatric coronavirus vaccine as of today. I'm not certain where..." Ooh, hello. I hate it when they do that. Not sure where you're going with this meme, but wishing death on children is certainly a call for self-reflection. Let's see here. So, Toasty Vibes wrote, "Threatening to kill kids if somebody doesn't inject their kids with an experiment. What a great person you are." And yeah, that's a thing. You know, none of these vaccines are fully approved by the FDA. So I don't understand why there's this. Yeah, okay, we're not going to read through all these, but I don't understand why there is such a pushback on anyone who is concerned about the virus, concerned about the vaccines, because it's a reasonable thing to be concerned about the vaccines. This idea that if you're not blindly accepting that these vaccines are safe, then you're a bad person. I mean, I guess that's kind of how the lemming thing works, right? That's how peer pressure and he's not cool, he's not one of us, he's not one of the group. I guess that's how it works, right? That's how it works in elementary school and high school, and apparently with moronic adults as well, that it works that way. You'd think you'd get over that at one point. Once I got into college, it occurred to me, well, actually, for me, I was kind of lucky. In high school, we didn't really have that. In my senior years, we had it in more in maybe my freshman, sophomore years, but senior years of high school, and then later on in college, I recognized that that stuff doesn't happen anymore. Once you get to a certain age, I think people stop thinking that clicks and popularity are really important, and they start realizing that everybody has some individual value, and it doesn't really matter what if you're one of the cool kids, or if you're one of the nerds, or if you're one of the jocks. You probably have some value, worth exploring by people. But no, now that politics has gone crazy, there is this concept of the in-group again, right? Are you in the in-group? And with Democrats, it has a lot to do with whether or not you're gay, or whether or not you're black, or a woman or a man. All these things are critical to being in the in-group now on the Democrat side. And now, one thing that's very important about being in the in-group is having been vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated, you're not in the in-group, you're not one of the cool kids, get the hell out of here. Hey, buddy. My cat wants to say hello. Yeah, you can come up. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go over there because I'm working. So either come up here or GTFO. All right. So, but okay. Go touch that. He's like a dog. It's weird. Yeah, so this has become almost sort of like but it's become more than just you're not cool. It's become you're an unethical person. You're a bad person. So much so that Bette Midler thinks that it's okay to kill kids if they haven't got the vaccine, because I assume that her thought process here is, well, if you've not been vaccinated, that means that you could potentially get other people infected with COVID if you get COVID, and therefore you're a potential murderer. Right? So, like, and if you're a murderer, then I can murder you. I can do something I know will murder you. If you don't do something I want you to do that I think will make you a little bit less likely to spread a virus that you're probably not going to spread anyway. It's freaking weird, right? I mean, there are so many things that we can do during the day that are more dangerous than not getting vaccinated, right? I mean, it's an unbelievable number of things. The primary one that comes to mind is driving. Right? If your teenager is driving, I mean, lots of teenagers get into accidents all the time. They kill people all the time from driving. We let pretty young people drive because we're a country that believes that freedom is more important than safety, right? And so if you want to drive, we want to let you drive. I mean, obviously we take some precautions. You have to get a permit, you have to get a license, you have to pass a test. But once you do that, you are free. You can drive, and we let a lot of dangerous people on the roads. So now, should I say that if Bette Midler lets her teenage kids drive, I have the right to murder them because they're dangerous? I mean, it's ridiculous. They're a hell of a lot more dangerous than somebody who doesn't get a COVID shot. Yeah, so she's clearly a lunatic here. I mean, I feel like, you know, she posts a lot of provocative things, or like quasi-provocative things. Definitely some like leftist woke crap. And I do think that, at least in California, I don't know exactly where she lives. I assume that she at least has some connection to California, because that's where, you know, all the movie stars, actresses, musicians, it's where a lot of them live. At least around LA, where I am, yeah, you are not cool. Not only are you not cool, you're considered to be anathema, evil, if you are a conservative. So certainly I think Bette Midler wants to virtue signal to her lefty friends, you know, look how cool I am, look how woke I am, I'm posting these provocative things, I'm trolling the right, and things like this. But the really sad thing about that, I think, is that her motivation, I'm just speculating here, but it seems to me that her motivation seems to be staying relevant. So she's no longer relevant, right? Who is a fan of Bette Midler? I think every big Bette Midler fan is probably dead at this point. Like, I don't think she has any fans left, right? Maybe there are some, but I mean, who cares about Bette Midler? Nobody. I think she was in Hocus Pocus, right? That's how everybody remembers her. At least anybody my age. But yeah, she's completely irrelevant at this point. She's a washed up old has-been actress. And I think she, to some degree, I think deep down, she recognizes that. And Twitter can give new life to washed up actors. Look what's happened to Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano went from being a very successful young actress to after the show Charmed, which she was in, right? She started a show called Charmed. After that show ended, she was no longer relevant. And I've met a lot of people in Hollywood. I've mentioned this before. I've met a lot of people in Hollywood that are washed up actors, right? That were really successful at one point, but are no longer successful. And they are desperate for fame. They're not desperate to act. They're not desperate to be, I mean, they might say that. But at the end of the day, it boils down to they want fans. They want people to love them because they missed that, right? They had that. It was a sort of euphoric feeling, euphoric time in their life. Everybody loved them. They could get into all kinds of special clubs and things, and people were constantly giving them stuff, and their life was just great. They're going on cool vacations, and now nobody knows who they are. They're just kind of like nobodies. And this is very painful for somebody who was a really big star. A lot of times, not always, but most of the time, I would say, if you're a child star or you're a young actor and you're successful and then you stop being successful, it's very painful. I think that's kind of what's happened to her. And so she's at the point now where she's realized that she can get attention. She can get attention if she goes on the Twitter and she says naughty things. And so she goes and says provocative things, and she tries to be relevant, but she's just a washed-up old hag. Nobody cares about you, Bette Midler. Go back into your mansion and, play your, app, video game, whatever it is that you do while you're biding your time, waiting for death because nobody cares about you. That may sound harsh, but come on. She just said she wants a bunch of kids to die of peanut allergies. So, yeah, I don't care. She's irrelevant. Moving on to the next story. Several of these stories are about the consequences of the messed up stuff that happened through COVID, and this one is no exception. Story number 2, lockdowns create alcoholism epidemic in the UK. So in the UK, we have seen this massive rise in alcoholism ever since the lockdown started. Oops.
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.